You may call your next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. We'd like to call Gwyneth Paltrow.
Thank you.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's tweet this out then. Tweet this bad boy out.
Do you swear that the testimony you are about to give in the case now before the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Put that there.
Seems like evening, doesn't it?
I've been inside all day. I have no idea.
You and me both. Could you state your name and spell it for the record, please?
Yes, my legal name is Gwyneth Kate Paltrow Falchuk. That's Gwyneth Kate Paltrow Falchuk.
Great, thank you. May I call you Ms. Paltrow?
Sure.
Okay, fantastic. As you've seen the last few days, we always have the witnesses give background information, tell about yourself, etc. I have a feeling that everybody in the courtroom knows who you are. So we're not going to go through all the background. We're just going to kind of cut to the chase. Is that fair?
Sounds fine.
All right, wonderful. Let's just talk about skiing. My understanding is that you are pretty much an intermediate type skier.
I would characterize myself as intermediate.
Okay. You've been skiing since you were a child.
I have.
Okay. Do you do black diamonds, blues, greens? I'm not really a skier, so you've got to kind of help me out with this.
I prefer to do more blues than blacks.
Okay. And blue is intermediate, right? Under black?
Yes.
Okay. And the bandana run where this accident occurred, it was a green run?
Yes, to
All
my
right.
recollection.
Fantastic. So as an intermediate skier, would you say that you skied enough to at least be familiar with the rules of skiing?
I think so, yes.
All right. And what are those rules?
I think, use common sense, ski safely, be aware of other skiers around you.
Okay. What about skiing in control? Is that something that you need to do?
Yes, absolutely.
You have to give the right of way to those who are downhill.
Yes.
Okay. You also have certain responsibilities if you're in a collision. Is that fair?
Yes, which I learned more about post the collision.
I bet. You've probably been hit over the head with all of that information since the time, right?
Indeed.
Okay. So let's talk about those things. Did you know the rules at the time of the collision that if you're in a collision with someone, you need to give your name and information, contact information?
So because I was hit by Mr. Sanderson and he was at fault, I assumed that Eric, who was our ski instructor, who was there at the time, who was overseeing the event, he said, I'm going to leave all of your information. And he said, you should go ski down because my kids were waiting for me.
And I appreciate that, but my question was, did you know of the rule of skiing if you are in a collision that you need to share that information?
Your Honor, this is irrelevant. This is not part of their negligence claim.
Overruled. Overruled. Go ahead.
Can you repeat the question?
Absolutely. At the time of the collision, were you aware of the rule that if you're in a collision, you need to share your name, your contact information with the person that you're involved in a collision with?
I don't think I was aware of the rule.
Okay. Were you aware that there is kind of a rule of common decency to do that?
I would not have left the scene without leaving my information, and my information was left.
Did you provide that information?
No, Eric Christensen, who was the ski instructor with us, said he would leave all the information.
You don't know if he did or did not, though, do you? You weren't there when he did.
Well, subsequently, I know that he did.
I'm not asking that. I'm asking when you were there at the collision, you didn't ensure that it was given. You weren't there when it was given.
I was not there when it was given.
All right. And it's also, I think you even admitted in your deposition that it's the rule of common decency to make sure that everybody's okay, exchange information, and to follow those skiing rules. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about that day after I get a drink.
Okay. I'll have one as well.
Do you have what? Oh, we have some
I
water.
do, thank
Okay,
you.
great. So I just want to kind of set the stage. You're skiing that day. My understanding, it was a nice conditions, beautiful day.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a
Yes.
yes? Sorry. And Deer Valley, we know that Deer Valley is always immaculately groomed. Good conditions on the slopes.
Good conditions.
All right. You were skiing that day with your daughter, Apple, correct?
Yes.
Moses.
Mm-hmm. My son.
And Brad Falchuk, who was your boyfriend at the time, now current husband.
Correct.
All right. And his 2 children.
That's right.
Right. And his kids were the same approximate age as yours on the day of the ski collision.
They all remain the same age.
That's a
As each
very,
other.
very good point.
We're like the Brady Bunch. Girls are the same age, boys are the same age.
All right. And back then it was 12 and 9,
11 and 9.
11 and 9. All right. Fantastic. And the day of the collision, I think you had been to Deer Valley twice prior to that
I believe so.
time? Okay. And this was the first day of your ski trip.
I think that's correct.
Okay. And I don't know how many days you were there, but I know, at least from what you've told us, that after that first day, you also skied the next day.
Yes.
Okay. So when Mr. Sanderson was at home, you were skiing.
I don't know.
Okay. Fair enough. So the children, all 4 of them, had lessons during that trip.
That's right.
Okay. Would you agree that those lessons were fairly expensive?
They were.
Okay. Do you remember about how much they were?
I would have to check. Whatever the Deer Valley rate is what we paid.
Okay. Let me know if this is about right. At least from what I saw in your deposition, the total bill was around $8,980. Does that sound about right for 4?
I think that misstates the evidence. I think that was for both families.
For 4 kids.
I would honestly have to check,
Okay. All right. That's fine.
but it's very expensive.
Very expensive.
Very.
Right. And then tips on top of that.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm assuming, you're under oath here, that you're a good tipper.
Yes.
Okay. Fantastic. I wouldn't expect anything less. All right. So let's talk about your daughter, Apple. She was 11.
She was?
Okay. And her instructor was Carrie Oakes.
That's correct.
All right. And Apple at the time was a good beginner.
Yes.
Okay. And your son, Moses, he was 9 at the time.
Yes.
And he was more so of a real beginner.
Yes.
All right. And his instructor was Eric Christensen.
Correct.
Okay. And I think both Carrie Oakes and Eric are coming next week.
I believe so.
All right. Fantastic. So 3 days ago, can you believe it's been only 3 days?
No.
Me neither. So 3 days ago, Mr. Owens, in his opening, talked about risky behavior, risky skiing. And he made mention that, of course, Ms. Paltrow was not skiing recklessly, not taking any kind of risky behavior because her children were there that day. Do you recall him saying that?
I think it does misstate my testimony, but
Well, it wasn't testimony that you stated.
my argument.
Can you answer the question?
Let's-
If I remember what he said,
No, just maybe do you agree with that? That on that day of the collision, you were not engaging in any kind of risky behavior, especially
Correct.
because your kids were there.
I was not engaging in any risky behavior.
Okay, but also, and I think your counsel made mention of this in opening, that especially because your children were there.
I don't recall him saying that.
All right, well, did your children being there make it so that you especially would not engage in risky behavior?
I didn't engage in risky behavior. I wouldn't with my children there or without my children there.
Okay. And kind of in life, I mean, I'm a mom, right? I've got a couple kids, actually about your age, and one of them, not your age, your daughter's age. Sorry, I'm not that old. when my kids are around, I kind of behave myself a little bit better, especially when they were younger, than on average. Would you agree with that?
I've always been very open and honest with my kids, and I think they know me very well.
Right. And would you agree that you have engaged in risky behavior with your children present?
Your Honor, may we approach?
Sure.
Like literally, Big Mike, I cannot put that. I'm gonna record this bit and post it, so I can't put that one up. Like but that's hilarious. Chrissy, you say cheeky? Yeah, British words cheeky. Cheeky monkey. That's what we would say. If you're cheeky, you're a cheeky monkey. Yeah, a little bit. But also, she's also, I think she knows she's in the limelight, so she's also trying to be a bit like set herself up. But if I wasn't going to be recording this bit and put it back up, I don't give a shit. I'd put it up like, but I mean, I want to get viewers here, not get them out. They're not all like Chrissy. Oh Jesus Christ! I should read your post before you do it. For put 'em up. Oh, yeah, I think you're right, Giovanna. Oh, hopefully, retweet it again. Hopefully, get some more people in here. I rushed my last post, so right. Okay, just check. Nope, it's fine. Oh, I love the fact that the chat is flying. It's just more that I'm trying to be a little bit careful what I post here if I'm gonna repost it, even though this is going up all on its own anyway. But and I've sworn quite a few times, so it doesn't actually really matter. Right, come on, Gwynny, let's see your smile. It's got
We're all
beautiful
back,
smile,
thank you.
man.
So the objection is sustained and the jury should disregard the question.
All right, let's go back to the day of the accident.
Okay.
So you're on bandana, correct? It's a green run. Actually, sorry, before that, one more. What's changed between now and when I took your deposition in 2020?
What do you mean?
Well, in 2020, you said, no, I'm not. Now you said, now you are. What's changed?
Well, you're making so for me, as I said, there's a delineation between the $1 that I would receive and the lawyer's fees being reimbursed, which is not.
Okay, so then you're not changing your position.
No.
Okay, so you've always been seeking more than $1.
At the time of the deposition, I was seeking $1 for myself. And I don't recall at the time of the deposition if we were also asking fees reimbursement.
Well, I'll represent to you that that was pled in the counterclaim. I could show you a copy if you'd like.
I'm sure.
Do you disagree with that?
Do I disagree with?
That in the counterclaim where you have sued how I got involved on this case,
Yes.
that you had asked for $1 plus attorney's fees.
I am asking for $1 plus of attorney's fees for that they're being paid.
And from day one since you filed the counterclaim against Mr. Sanderson.
Yes.
Thank you.
We're going to pull up P3, which I think has been admitted. It's the Deer Valley report by Eric Christensen. And for Gwyneth, do you know what the D number is? So can I come?
You may.
I'm going to just show you D3 here.
Okay.
It's not the same. Do you know what our Deer Valley position is? I'll tell you what, would you come down? I have a laser here. If I need it, it's a little red thing. Did you see this on the first day of testimony? And James, maybe do the top third. This is Christensen's report.
Yes.
It says male skier took her out from behind. Is
Yes.
that what happened?
Yes.
This report is accurate?
Very.
I didn't see it, but heard her scream as she went down. Do you dispute that?
I don't.
I skied directly to her. Did he do that?
He did. Yes.
The man was behind her. Both were in discomfort. Is that all true?
Yes.
During lunch, she talked of being stiff and sore. Is that a true statement?
It is.
Can we go to the second, third now, please? I'm glad you can see it on your monitor. We had a hard time getting those going. All right, I'm going to look here. It says on the right there, a patroller came by to check on everyone. Do you have a memory of that?
I don't.
All right.
I'm afraid.
And then the bottom third, please.
Your Honor, I'm going to object that this goes beyond the scope of my redirect, cross, etc.
Your Honor, I'm addressing this because she was asked additional questions about sort of who hit to. First thing male skier stated was that she, meaning you, appeared right in front of him. All right. Did you hear that?
No,
Do you dispute it occurred?
no.
Thus admitting he was the uphill skier.
He was.
She never saw him because he came in from behind.
Correct.
Did you see Mr. Sanderson in front of you?
No, he was behind me.
Did you have a lash in your eye or otherwise have some eyesight problem?
Nope, I still have 20/20. I need reading glasses though.
Were you blind in one eye and limited in the other?
No.
All right. I think there's a reference here that given your height and Mr. Sanderson less height,
Mhm.
being less tall, that somehow you couldn't have felt him against your back. Can you just comment on that?
Well, he was uphill of me, so he was higher than me, and he pressed whatever of his body against my back when his skis slid between mine.
Were you standing still when the skis came between you?
No, I was gently skiing, and he kind of gently skied right into me.
Does that mean Mr. Sanderson was going faster than you were going?
No, it wasn't an impact
Okay. Well,
until we hit the ground.
to come up upon you,
Yes.
I guess he had to have been skiing a little faster than you. Fair?
I don't know because he was behind me, so I don't know what he was doing.
All right. Ramon said that Sanderson had his head downhill, spread eagle, out cold. Did you observe that?
No.
Was his head downhill?
Your Honor, objection goes beyond the scope.
I think you're going beyond the scope.
Your Honor, she was asked about, I'll move on, but she was asking about where people were.
She did ask for people landed in her redirect or recross, so you can go into that.
Thanks. So you heard Ramon say spread eagle, head down, right?
I did.
Out cold.
Yeah.
Do you think you would have noticed if he had been spread eagle? First, just comment on that. Yes or no?
Objection pleading.
Sustained?
Just comment. Like, I did see him spread eagle, or he did not. I'm trying to be as broad as I can on that.
Well, that's leading.
Okay,
It's right on Friday.
it is. That is true. Was your head, when you came to arrest, downhill?
Both of our heads were in the same direction, uphill.
So Ramon said they were both downhill.
That is incorrect. The expert today even said it was impossible for him to get lift off. And so that's just not what happened.
The comment was that you cursed at him. Why didn't you say, pardon me, sir, I think you inadvertently ran into me? Why didn't you do that in a nice, calm manner?
Again, I felt violated. I was upset. I was worried about my knee. My back hurt. It felt violating to have somebody press their body against my back. I was full of adrenaline. I was really upset. And I'm sorry that I cursed.
I think Ramon said something like someone gave him the stink eye. Your Coldplay buddy, he wasn't your Coldplay buddy, but gave him the stink eye or something to that effect.
I don't remember that.
A mean look.
I don't know who that would have been, and I don't remember.
Brad probably wasn't too happy that someone had hurt his girlfriend. Is
Objection
that?
beyond the scope.
I'll let it go. Who hit who?
Objection asked and
Oh my
answered.
gosh.
I want it.
What a waste of time.
Sustained.
3 words, Your Honor.
Asked and answered.
we'll let it go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cross?
It's 5:00. We're done. Thank you.
Thank you. Members of the jury, let me just give you the same instruction that I have given you a few times. So we're recessing now until 9 a.m. on Monday morning. And so you'll be on your own over the weekend. Before we recess, I need to remind you of the following instruction. Please do not discuss this case with anyone, including other jurors. Please do not attempt to learn anything about the case outside of the courtroom, including from other jurors. Please avoid radio, TV, internet, and newspaper reports on this case. Please keep an open mind throughout the presentation of the evidence, and please do not form or express an opinion on this case until such time as it is finally submitted to you for deliberations. And the final instruction is have a great weekend.
I don't know, man. I was half-fisted at that point. Oh, 9 o'clock Monday. Ooh. I mean, this has been my favorite judge throughout. He's
You
just
can
so
step down.
calm.
And you can leave too.
So calm and just straight in there. So messing.
Yes.
Your Honor, we may call our client in our case. Any objection to that?
No.
Okay. And
I mean, I don't know if they have an objection, but it would be proper because you're limited by the scope of cross before.
thank you. Can we sit for a minute? Because I'm not quite
Sure.
done.
Is there anything we should address before the